I was working on the top 10 worst DS licensed game list, one of the games I did briefly consider was a little game called Princess Natasha for the DS. Released on October 13th, 2006 and developed by Frame Studios Interactive and published by DSi Games, unlike a lot of the other games based on shows on the list, I have never heard of this show before until I got the DS game. Apparently, this was mainly a web show with AOL Kids. Yeah, remember AOL? And was on Cartoon Network, but I watched Cartoon Network at the time and I don't remember this show at all. Honestly, the show's look reminds me of Word Girl and gives me a "you think your life is hard? Try being a princess, secret agent, and going to high school all at the same time" vibe. It's like they looked at Kim Possible and said, something's missing, and then someone goes, aha! What if she was a princess as well? Apparently though, the show was successful enough to warrant both a DS game and a GBA game. In my research, the GBA game is pretty much the same as the DS game. Honestly, for early DS games, it's rather common for both the GBA ports and the DS port to be about the same. Look at Herb Sims in a City and Pokemon Mystery and Dungeon Red and Blue Rescue Teams for examples. Anyways, the game starts with one of the worst full motion video animations I have ever seen! Like, what the heck is this? It's moving at like 2 frames a second! This is not editing! This is really like this! Apparently this is just a slightly enhanced version of the GBA opening, which was just a slideshow. I take the slideshow, honestly. I don't get it. It was entirely possible for the GBA to handle full motion video. Low quality video, yes, but it could do it. Not sure why they couldn't properly do it on the DS, considering it both had larger storage and more powerful hardware. Anyways, we start a new save and we're given our mission from King Carl. Citizens are being crazed and he wants you to do something about it. Oleg, your assistant, looks into it and finds out the citizens are being turned into zombies by robots, which he very conveniently already has an antidote for. So we're given a map and have different stages we need to help save people and defeat the robots. As you start each stage, you'll get the chance to pick 2 gadgets to help you defeat the robots. More on those later. Right before you start, Oleg gives you a very insightful tip, like, press speed to jump. Thanks, Oleg. I would have never been able to figure that one out. You must have graduated from the Alia School of Video Game Helpers. Did she remember to tell you to remind me that lava is hot as well? Anyways, let's get into the actual gameplay. The game is set up to be rather arcadey. You have enemy robots to defeat and people to save. Natasha does kicks and punches, but she can also use her gadgets as well. I'll quickly go through them. One of the gadgets you start with is the Magnetron Ray. It's basically useless. It stuns enemies and has a very short range. Don't use it. The other one you start with is the Tinny Shatter. It's decent, has range, and can do okay damage. The Dark Dasher is pretty much a direct upgrade of the Tinny Shatter, and you get it later on. The Bouncing Blast is sort of like a landmine, but I found it rather ineffective. The Electric Blast is the best gadget in the game. It auto-regenerates ammo, and it's the strongest one. The Freeze-O-Matic is much like the Magnet in that it barely does anything, just with better range. The goal of each stage is to eliminate all the robots and save the people by spraying them with the antidote. You don't have to save everyone, just most people. Also, you have to save the people before you eliminate all the robots on the screen, because if you clear out all the robots, you can't go back and save the people. The game just moves on. Each stage is made up of 2 to 3 screens of enemies. Defeat all the enemies on the screen, then move on to the next one. It low-key kinda reminds me of Buster Brothers and Bubble Bobble, and I think it's because the robots are round. Probably why the game feels arcadey, and honestly, for a low-budget game, not the worst format to take. There are also a few bonus stages where you have challenges like eliminate all the enemies or save all the people. However, you can only take 1 hit before the stage ends. But I noticed a weird bug. After finishing a bonus stage, when I got to the next regular stage, I noticed Natasha's health suddenly went from being full to being empty. Fortunately, I didn't get hit, and when I got to the very next screen, it refilled back up to full. I think the health didn't reset properly after I finished the bonus stage. Actually, I had another bug happen to me. When I took a break and came back to play the game more, the sound for the game was completely off, and I had to go to the options to put it back up. Weird. This didn't happen to me a second time from booting it up, so I'm gonna assume it was a fluke. Anyways, so you play enough levels and the plot progresses where we then learn that Natasha's evil uncle Lubeck is behind this.
Oh? He's trying to topple over a monarchy, I see. Perhaps I could work and join with a guy like this.
Oh, hey, Plundering Dolphin! Good to see you! I'm glad you want to make more friends.
But of course! Haha! I see an opportunity if I were to get close to this guy. Perhaps when he takes over, I can get myself a little island to govern. After all, kingdoms usually have tiny, insignificant islands they don't care about.
Oh, well, that's, one way to do it. But let's see how the rest of this game goes. Honestly, nothing else really changes in the game. What you see is what you get. I will fully admit that there are a few decent songs in the game, as I did like some of the stage themes. But as I progressed, I noticed something. It seems the farther and farther I got into the game, the less and less the developers cared. Let's break it down. The game is divided up into 3 sections. The first section is by far the longest with 9 stages plus 2 bonus stages. The second section is shorter with only 6 stages and 1 bonus stage. And the third section is the shortest with only 5 stages and 1 bonus stage. Not to mention, the third stage reuses locations we've already been to, and it doesn't even try to make the game harder or more challenging. After you clear all the stages in this section, you then get thrown into a boss fight, and they're pretty underwhelming to say the least. Defeat the robot, and the story moves forward.
Is this the best he has at his disposal? I'm far more advanced than these pathetic robotic spheres he's using.
I know, right? This guy doesn't seem to know what he's doing.
No matter. As long as he doesn't oversee my island paradise too much, our working relationship should still be fine.
That pretty much sums up the game at this point. Although some new robot enemies are added, there are no changes to the levels after each section. I suppose it's to be expected at this point, but let's go through the rest of the plot. Halfway through Section 2, Lubeck taunts us more by saying more of the people that we know are under his control turning into zombies. I don't know, they look pretty normal to me. After defeating the second robot boss, Lubeck begins to panic, but regains his composure when he realizes that we don't know where his secret hideout is, where his last giant robot is at. I really wish there was more for me to say about Sections 2 and 3, but I really got nothing. Anyways, a few stages into Section 3, Oleg gives us an update and... looks creepy as heck! I'm sorry, Oleg! I'll listen to your tips from now on. Press B to jump and A to attack. Just don't look at me like that! Anyways, he finds out that the hideout is under the school, as we finish up and head there. Here's the final boss! Where is it? These are just regular enemies. Oh, okay. The first screen, for whatever reason, just has regular enemies. Now time for the real final boss where you fight 2 large robotic bouncing spears. Yeah, this is a pretty pathetic final boss. Defeat it, and Lubeck's plans are foiled as he escapes. Everyone is freed, and the day is saved.
Wow. He was defeated by a teenage girl? Perhaps I should highly reconsider my friendship, considering how he treated his robots. I doubt he would have given me proper benefits and respect! I'll have to reconsider my plans for my island paradise.
It'll happen one day, Dolphin. Just keep believing. We get to see Lubeck in bed watching TV, but that's the game. Plus, we get a website for some secret goodies that we can't even access now. Yay! Honestly, I could see why I didn't include this game in the list of worst DS licensed games, but it certainly had enough for me to talk about for a full review. And honestly, in a weird way, I'm glad to have played it through fully, especially since there wasn't a full playthrough of the DS version, and honestly, it was the same as the GBA version. I was holding out that there might have been some slight differences, but there really isn't, besides the fact you have a save feature in the DS version. Overall, it's pretty typical for a low-budget game like this. The game is only an hour and a half long, so it's also pretty short. Not to mention, it gets incredibly repetitive with the stage being so similar to each other that I only really recommend this game if you're looking for a bad game to roast. That being said, I would very much appreciate a like and subscribe.
And let us know if you want to see more characters like me pop up during reviews.
Or just comment what you want to see next. Thank you for watching.